How many of you have gone to Costco and at checkout when they ask if you want a box, you say no because you're sure you cannot get that box out of the shopping cart? I got a private DM that said, I appreciate the educational content you do, but stop bashing GLP-1s. And the truth is, I don't bash GLP-1s. I disagree with the way that they are prescribed and used in this country. Most people use them and then think like, oh, I'm going to go and I'm going to lose all this weight and then I'm going to build strength. But here's the problem. If you're a woman over the age of 30 and that's your line of thinking, you're doing yourself a huge disservice, because by the time you hit 35, you start losing muscle mass at a rate that is faster than you can keep up with, and then you add GLP-1s on top of that and you lose an additional probably 20%. On top of that, in order to build muscle, you need protein. It takes amino acids to build muscle. And most of you probably aren't even tracking your food, and you certainly aren't at least tracking your protein. The other thing is, your body should start to naturally produce GLP-1 on its own, except for like the 10% of people who have a genetic deficiency in the cells in the gut that produce GLP-1. Yes, you heard that right. 80% of Americans are obese. Only 10% of them have a genetic predisposition to being obese. The things it takes to produce GLP-1 in your gut is good sources of fiber. Those good sources of fiber come from vegetables, not from grains. In fact, if you are on a GLP-1 journey, I would argue that you should take all grains out of your diet, because most of them cause constipation, and GLP-1s slow gut emptying, which causes constipation. And some people will just say, take a fiber supplement. Nope, that's not going to do it. That's not the type of fiber your body needs. That is a fiber that only draws water into the gut. It does not improve the health of the gut. And what they have proved through the twin study, which is 3,600 sets of identical twins, is that literally the thing that makes the biggest difference in these people of whether or not they end up with obesity or not, even when one identical twin is thin and one is overweight, is the gut bacteria. It's not just the gut bacteria though, it's the diversity within the gut. You can't have diversity without eating plenty of fruits and vegetables. Since my adulthood, there have been 3 times where I could not lift a box out of a Costco cart. One of those was while I was on bed rest when I was pregnant, for obvious reasons. You shouldn't be lifting anything if you're not supposed to be out of bed. One of those was directly after having a type of reconstructive surgery on my shoulder, and one of those was when I was on crutches after foot surgery. If you're going on a weight loss journey, make sure it means that you are spending at least 3 days a week 3 days a week lifting heavy weights in the gym so that you can maintain your muscle mass. Make sure you're getting enough protein. Make sure you're getting enough vegetables, and get at least 2 servings of fruit a day. Your protein intake should be around 90 grams. Your fiber intake from vegetables should be around 30 grams. And then the fruit is just your sugar. If you're someone who has had 1 or more babies and you suspect that you might have weakness in your pelvic floor because you also have things like, I'm getting plantar fasciitis or pain in my legs, cramping in my legs, that kind of thing, and you have jaw pain or neck pain, I would recommend that you go follow the account Train Like a Mother on Instagram, because she's a board certified pelvic specialist, and she puts together some amazing training plans on how to actually rebuild the entire core, starting from the feet. Make sure you can lift that box of groceries out of your cart from Costco. Your muscle is your investment, like your 401k, in your retirement and in your long-term health.